Retro.
Hello there. This is James Arnold Taylor, the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you're listening to Dennis and Jay on Podcast Stardust. Their behavior is continuously unexpected. So uncivilized.
Hello there, Star Wars fans. I'm Jay Krebs.
And I'm Dennis Keithley.
And this is another fully armed and operational edition of Podcast Stardust, the galaxy's source for Star Wars news, reviews, and discussion. But before we get on with this episode, Dennis, could you remind everybody where our listeners can find us on social media?
Sure. The best place to find us are Facebook and Instagram at Podcast Stardust. And you can go check out our X account, but same handle. We're hardly ever there, but it's there.
Fair enough. All right. So today on Podcast Stardust, episode 795, we are bringing you our special monthly feature called World Between Worlds, a mystical dimension that connects Star Wars fashion and lifestyle products to your space and time. The goal is to bring you a wide variety of ideas for products to surround you, outfit you, and bind your style sense together, kind of like the Force. So this month we're falling into a huge assortment of festive and fun fashion, home items, and other lifestyle finds from Star Wars. But as usual, Dennis and I always do a rundown of any new Star Wars gets or any updates to some current products that we have previously spirited away. Haha, you can see the whole Halloween theme going on here. So with that, Dennis, I know you have one update we talked about right after we recorded last time. So why don't you fill us in?
Yeah. So on the last World Between Worlds episode, you were talking about the Phaseline line of products, which are, it's a non-licensed product. It kind of mashes up Star Wars, mainly like Stormtrooper types, with modern military type imagery and stuff like that. And it looked very familiar at the time, but I did not put two and two together. But I actually had one of these shirts at the time, and it just to completely escape my notice. And afterwards, either the same evening or the next day, I went and pulled it out of my drawer. This was a gift from my sister-in-law, and I took a picture and sent it to you. But yeah, I have one of these shirts. That's mine is the Scout Trooper who's looks like he's holding an assault rifle and has got some body armor on the like, and then there's a Death Star in the background. But yeah, it's we talked about these products extensively on the last episode, and so I have one of these. I've worn it as kind of a nightshirt, pajamas type of a thing, because it's a size larger than what I usually get. But so anyways, I just want to report on that. It's a nice shirt. I enjoy it, and it was a weird coincidence that it happened.
Yeah, it really was. And also after our last episode, I had tagged Phaseline in our show post on Instagram, and they actually messaged us and said, thank you so much for your support. And so just to refresh everyone's memory, or if you didn't get a chance to listen to the last World Between Worlds, this is a veteran artist who produces all of these designs. And so there's these, as you mentioned, the mashups between the, the battle looking type of clothing and also Star Wars. And so the merch that's available over there is very, very cool. I mean, you really have to go check it out to see all the different types of things that are available. And they're very sketch oriented, because they're all individual and original art. So once again, yeah, thank you for sharing that. I'm so glad that you thought of that.
Yeah, definitely. So how about you?
Well, the only thing that I got actually was something that I hadn't reported on, and I realized that I hadn't mentioned it, but I got something from the Nerf Herder Co, which we have definitely talked about very much on the show. So, and Melissa was on the show not too long ago. It doesn't seem like it, but it's probably been several months by now. And so, the Nerf Herder Co. has a lot of these fragrance mists. And so there was one that I was actually able to encounter in person. And as soon as I did, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get this. And so I did. So it's the fragrance mist that is based on Clone Force 99 Hunter. And
Mm.
let me just tell you, Dennis, this is like probably one of my favorite fragrance mists scents ever. And
Huh.
it's one of those that is not super masculine, but yet you could almost like I could wear it, I feel like, and get away with it. But I actually
Mhm.
use it as a pillow spray and as a room spray more so than anything else. But it's a 3.4 fluid ounce spray bottle. And so it's just a wonderful scent that has it's sandalwood and gray vetiver is what the main scent is, but there's also fragrance notes of lavender, bergamot, some leather accords, some musk in there, and gray vetiver. So it has a 57% scent strength as far as what respondents had said. And I would agree with that, that it's not overpowering and it's not super, super subtle either. It's actually categorized as strong scented. I don't know if
Mhm.
I agree with that. It's just a really, I think it's just a really balanced scent. And it's probably one of my favorite overall scents like ever in a fragrance mist. So
Hmm.
I very, very highly recommend this one. And I need to put a review on the website because I'm just so impressed by this. And so the 3.4 fluid ounce is $25 on the website. And like I said, I highly, highly suggest it. So yes, I wanted to make sure I mentioned that because I was like, I don't think I ever mentioned that I got that. But
Mhm.
it also gives me an amazing opportunity to talk about some of the new things that Melissa has on the Nerf Herder Co. website as well. And one of those is a new candle that is being released to celebrate Mental Health Matters Awareness. So this candle actually came out on October 11th. And so the candle itself is actually called Ahsoka the White. And so I'm just going to read this right off of the Instagram post. So it says, this fragrance is inspired by the peace and acceptance Ahsoka finds at the end of the first season of her series. Seeing her growth throughout her appearances has inspired so many, and honestly, we're proud of the mental space she was in at the end of her series. The major fragrance notes you'll find within this product line are clementine, tree moss, and rich cedar, creating a calming forest forward scent. And what I also love about this is that 15% of the net profits of the product will be donated to organizations assisting those impacted by hurricanes Helene and Milton. So they're still kind of finalizing their choices. But I just really thought that that was an amazing type of thing to be able to do and to give back. And it's not the first time that Melissa has done that, quite honestly, with some of her products.
Mhm.
And so not only is a candle available, but also the wax melts as well. So depending upon, if you want a flameless or a true candle, and all of our candles also have these wood wicks, which I adore because it just gives a completely different sort of feel and ambiance when you burn these candles because you get that true crackle from the wood wicks. So so yeah, I'm just really stoked about that one. And I hope that she raises a lot of money for that because I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. That's fantastic that she's doing that. Anything that anyone can do to help is pretty cool.
For sure, for sure. And so another thing that is on the Nerf Herder Co. website is that there's a whole section called honoring our princess Carrie Fisher. So this is actually in celebration of Carrie's birthday, which is October 21st. And it's also celebrated as Lightsabers for Leia Day, as supported by the official Rebel Legion. And so I was actually on the Rebel Legion website as well. And so they have a whole Instagram post dedicated to making donations to the International Bipolar Foundation in Carrie's name. And so they're quoted and they say, it's a day to drink your Diet Coke, spread some glitter, biodegradable, of course, take your meds, and maybe even aceribically take down the patriarchy. So, and of course, that's definitely Carrie. But on the Nerf Herder Co website, there are some t-shirts and sweatshirts that are black that are on a starfield that says, "In loving memory of our princess, Carrie Fisher." And so then there's the t-shirt, a crewneck sweatshirt. There's a candle called the Princess Senator General Jedi, which I have that scent as well. Absolutely beautiful scent. Some stickers that say the same thing. Some t-shirts, and this is almost like a graffiti inspired kind of font that say Princess Senator General Jedi. And then there's some wax melts, once again, the fragrance mists and the like. So everything that you need to celebrate Carrie's life and memory. And once again, that's on the Nerf Herder Co website. And all of these links will be in our show notes. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet, but yeah, Carrie was definitely very forward in supporting mental health and bipolar because she herself was bipolar. And we've talked about the wishful drinking book and the Princess Diarist and that type of thing on here. So definitely recommend both of those as a read, and not just a read, but the audible version is the best because you get to hear Carrie tell her
Oh
story.
yeah. I read one of those. I'm trying to remember which one it is, but it was really good, especially her performance of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. So highly recommend those. And then one last thing from the Nerf Herder Co. is, cold weather, cooler weather, I should say, means cozy beverages. So there's an entire Lothcat Cafe collection. So this is coffee inspired. And what's fun about it is that some of the collection was released on September 6th, but the big drop was on September 29th, which is actually National Coffee Day. So the whole Lothcat obsession among fans is very big. And we see the Lothcats, of course, in Rebels and in the Ahsoka series. And they're just these awesome little space cats. So the entire line that this is inspired by is very warm with, all the colors that you would expect from coffee. So there's the deep browns and the latte kind of looks and, even sort of a chai feel if you're going for those sorts of things. A color that looks like espresso. So there's a crewneck sweatshirt that just simply says Cat Cafe, and it's got this sort of coffee looking cloud with the cute little Lothcat in there and some cursive writing that says Cat Cafe on it. And then there's one of those glass sippers that are super popular right now that have the wooden, like bamboo type fitted lid with the straw that goes with it. And of course, that's got the Lothcat on it as well. There is a traditional coffee mug, a tote bag, a t-shirt, and then there's also some candles. And the candles are actually fresh coffee and dark oak and vanilla is the scent on those. So again, everything that you need to deck yourself out with some Lothcat coffee warmth, which is really fun. I've never been a cat person, but the Lothcats are definitely so cute. I have a plushie with a Lothcat on it, so I can't. I truly cannot resist the Lothcats. But what do you think of that collection?
Oh, it's cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very much coffee shop vibes to it there. So yeah, I can see
Oh, yeah.
how this would be popular.
Yes, cafe in a galaxy far, far away. And speaking of Lothcats, now we can sort of migrate into some of our other fall and Halloween type things here. So Target actually has a candy corn Lothcat plush. And so this was a big surprise to me. And I was seeing this one all over Instagram. But if you go to the Target website, you can also get these in store. And so this sells for $26.99. And it is a Lothcat, but as you can guess, it also looks like candy corn because the ears of the Lothcat are candy corn. And the Lothcat itself is orange and the legs are brown. And so this is just the cutest little thing if you want to just, snuggle up with some candy corn and a Lothcat at the same time. And candy corn is my favorite. So I know people either love it or they hate it. But I will say I'm a candy corn snob because it has to be certain brands and not others. So I don't just eat any candy corn. But I
Yeah,
just thought this was
I
adorable.
little curious about the candy cornness of it until I noticed the ears on there. The description on Target, the name is just Star Wars Lothcat Halloween plush. It's when you get into the description that they start talking about the candy corn colored ears. But I could see, again, this is fun little item. I think this would be really popular amongst Rebels fans.
Oh yeah. I mean, the thing that would really set it off, maybe this is the missed opportunity, but candy corn scent somehow.
Yeah.
That would be the best.
I don't really care about candy corn one way or the other. I certainly don't have the vitriol for it that people do that really, really hate it. No, I saw a really fun social media takedown post on the Thanksgiving dinner candy corn that you can get, and
Oh
that sounded
yeah.
truly awful. I know that's been around for a few years, and this time of year it starts to emerge in stores again, and people get all riled up about it. But yeah, the average candy corn, I mean, I'm not going to go out of my way to get it, and if I'm offered some, I'd probably pass, but I don't know. I don't have any violent reactions to it.
I haven't seen the Thanksgiving dinner candy corn. That cracks me up. That reminds me of Willy Wonka, where Veruca Salt has the bubble gum that was like the whole dinner kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. No, stop, please don't. Always cracks me up. But yeah, so you can get that at Target. So yeah, we also have some other fun Halloween and Star Wars mashup sorts of things. And this one is actually on the Home Depot website, and it's a fall BB-8 throw blanket for $49.95. This is put out actually by the Northwest Group, but this is actually a really big blanket. It's 50 by 60 inches, and it's called a Silk Touch blanket, which I know exactly what they're talking about. It's the thinner ones, but they're just super, super soft. And it's called the Pumpkinfied BB-8. And so when you go on to the Home Depot website, you'll get a chance to see it, but it's BB-8 as a pumpkin. I mean, that's the best way
Mm-hmm.
that you can put it, is like a stacked pumpkin. So there's even a green little stem coming out of the top of BB-8's head. And there's a few different pictures on here that you can see. And it's, someone standing with the blanket itself and one that's on the couch. So you can get sort of an idea of how big it is. But the backing on this is sort of a creamish color. And so it's a really fun, little blanket for this time of year that you can cozy up with on the couch, or, maybe take out to a fire pit and just, or underneath the stars, and taking in the sights of the fall sky, and maybe on a little hayride, who knows? But,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, so again, Home Depot for $49.99, and you can pick that one up either shipped to store or you can have it delivered. So either one on that one, which is really kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Girls Crew, which we've talked about before here on the show, is a jewelry company, and they have a whole set of different types of Star Wars Halloween items as well. So there's, speaking of BB-8, there are a pair of earrings called the BB-8 Pumpkin Patch Studs, and these are available for $45. And these are in either gold or rose gold or silver as the base. And so it's just, I love the description. It just says it's BB-8 as a pumpkin. Need we say more? I mean, that's basically it. But it actually has the different metals over brass with a protective coating. And they do have the silver posts and the plated butterfly backings as well. Or you can get a whole set of different types of Star Wars pumpkin-y and Halloween types of things. So there's a Darth Vader kind of popping out of a pumpkin, a jack-o'-lantern type of thing. So the top of the jack-o'-lantern is on Vader's head. And then you have little Grogu doing the same thing. There's R2-D2 with a sheet over him, so he looks like a little ghost. And then there's a couple of little dangle earrings with Grogu interpreted as a little witch. And that one has the stud part of it as a jack-o'-lantern as well. And so there's some really cute pairings on the Girls Crew website, especially if you have multiple piercings, where you can arrange these in different parts of the ears. And they actually also come in the little bonus kind of thing with the whole crew, and you get these little stars as well. They're cubic zirconia, so that one's really cute as well. And so there's a lot of different stylings on the website that you can take a look at and see kind of how to put all of these together. So again, the individual ones are $45 a piece, or you can pair them all up and you can get some sets for yourself as well. And there's also a trick or treat bracelet that is available. And this one is $58 on the website. And this one has a combination of Grogu actually has a bat, which is an interesting little interpretation, with some orange little hearts and some little jack-o'-lanterns. And once again, you can get that in either gold, rose gold, or silver. So it's just a lot of fun if you check these out. You can also stack them with other bracelets that have just more basic kinds of things, like almost like a tennis bracelet with some cubic zirconia and some little stars and studs and crystal hearts and that type of thing. And so it's a lot of fun to be able to stack those up. So I do have a little bit of jewelry from Girls Crew, and I've always been very impressed by their offerings. So once again, you can check that out and hit up the link in our show notes.
Yeah, those are cute. They're fun. They're fun looking there. The R2-D2 as a ghost and the Grogu coming out of the pumpkin, I think, are the best two they got in that collection.
Yeah, super fun. I love how they stack them all together with the sets, like I said, for the multiple piercings as well. So it makes for a fun little festive look for sure. All right. And then moving on, we also have another favorite here on Podcast Stardust for War Between Worlds, and that is a fan of shop that's run by Tiff. And Tiff always has, one thing I love about Tiff is that when she comes up with something in her brain pan, she makes it. And it doesn't matter what it is. And so she just makes it a reality. And that's super cool. So there's a few different Halloween and fall related things on the A Fan of website. So there's some Halloween droid bandanas that are 22 by 22 inches, and they're a single side design of a soft polyester fabric. And so you've got basically, like your basic bandana print type of thing. One of them is black with like an orange overlay, and then the other one is orange with a black overlay. So you see the droids depicted as skeletons, and then you have a lot of different types of fun little things around them as well. So you've got, C-3PO as a skeleton, BB-8 is a little like pumpkin-y skeleton, I guess you could say. And, then there's pieces and parts of like B-1 battle droid heads and little beetles that are little choppers and little candy corns that look, very much like pieces and parts of droids. And then there's Chopper's head sitting on, another part of it, and part of Dio here and there, and then some bats and things in between as well, and some different things like spider webs in the corners and whatnot. So just a fun little take on that. And then there's some other types of things that are available as well. So there are some droid patch glow in the dark. And so that's basically based on the same design, but these are glow in the dark patches. And then there's a really fun set of Halloween mashup stickers with Star Wars. And these are all based on some of the classic horror movies, which, I mean, who doesn't love these classic horror movies, right? So, you've got the original, like The Bride of Frankenstein, but this one is The Bride of Skywalker. So you see Padme with some, very Bride of Frankenstein looking hair. And then you see Anakin as Darth Vader just looming in the background, and you can see his one Sith eye through his helmet. And then you have the Curse of the Were-Wookiee instead of the Curse of the Werewolf. We have the great creature of the Gungan Lagoon. So of course that's Jar Jar. And then we have Count Dooku. So you can guess the take on that.
Yeah.
But these are fun. They're $3.95 each, and they would just be fun to slap on a laptop or, just keep for a collector's item. And they're 2 inches, so they're actually a pretty decent size as well. And then speaking of Lothcats, there is a Lothalloween kitty tote. So it's a black tote with a bunch of different Lothcats depicted in various Halloween type colors. And then there's also some sticker sheets with the same sorts of things and some individual Lothalloween cat stickers as well. So again, these are all on the A Fan of website. And so A Fan of just has tons and tons of things. There's some other things that are coming out here real soon too that I'll probably end up talking about next month that'll make some really fun stocking stuffers, because that other holiday is coming up very soon, which is crazy.
That's right.
Yeah. So we'll keep that one for next time. Then there's a few more fall/Halloween things that I found that I thought were a lot of fun. So box lunch is another kind of mainstay here on World Between Worlds. And so these aren't technically Halloween, but they're orange. So I thought, hey, why not? And of course, the Rebel Alliance with the X-Wing pilot outfits and things are always orange. But there's this really cool Rebel symbol panel crewneck sweater that's a box lunch exclusive that you can pick up on their website as well as ship to store. And so this one is actually on sale right now for $47.92. And so the details on this one, if you go to the website, you'll see the full details, but it says show off your allegiance with the Star Wars sweatshirt featuring a patch of the Rebel symbol between embroidered Star Wars and Rebel lettering. This crewneck includes a color block panel design with a ribbed collar and hem. The sweatshirt is perfect for aspiring Jedi. So it's a 60 cotton, 40% polyester fleece. And these are unisex sizes. So there's some size charts right there on the website, and they go all the way from extra small up to 3X. And I just really like this sweatshirt. It's nice little color block. So it's very varsity feeling, if you will, the old type of vintage like varsity jackets and that type of thing. But I think it's a very cool little sweater. I was calling it a sweater. It's a sweatshirt.
Yeah. Definitely fits into the fall theme you're talking about, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure. And then the other one from Box Lunch is called the Star Wars Icons Women's Cardigan, which is once again a Box Lunch exclusive. And this one is $51.92, available in sizes from extra small through 3X. And for once again, you can either ship it to yourself or ship it to the store. And this one says, "The Force is with you." If you're wearing the Star Wars cardigan with orange trim, this comfy outerwear is touched with embroidered details, including a lightsaber, the Millennium Falcon, and famous film phrases. It's a must-have for any Lucasfilm fan. So this one is a black sweater. And again, those embellishments and things are in orange and white. It's very feminine because it's got a lot of these wispy little roses and stars and curly cues and that type of thing. But there's a nice little "May the Force be with you" embroidered in white going up the neck. And then there's some beautiful little Rebel symbols and then just a nice little patch that says SW for Star Wars on there. So once again, that is at Box Lunch. And then moving up to some Buckle Down. Buckle Down is usually famous for their belts, and they started off as a belt company that styled their belts after seat belts. And so then they've since expanded into things like dog collars and leashes and lanyards and all kinds of things. And I found a couple fun things on their website. There's actually 2 wallets that are Halloween themed. So there's a Mummy Stormtrooper wallet, and this is a bifold wallet that is in orange with a stormtrooper dressed as a mummy holding a blaster. And that's pretty much it. So it's $17.95 for this one. And, I'm one of those kind of people that I don't change purses and wallets enough to justify a purchase like this. But I mean, hey, if you're into the festivity of changing things all the time, then why not? And then on the back of the wallet, it has the Star Wars main logo embroidered on it as well in white. And then there's another one that you can choose from as well on the Buckle Down website, and that is a Vader and Stormtrooper skeleton candy collage that's on a black background, and it has, the white skeletons with the red candies. And this one is also $17.95 and available on the Buckle Down website. So there you go. Are you much for carrying around wallets?
Oh yeah, I have a brown leather wallet that I've had for years and years and years.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I mean, I don't carry as much stuff in there as I think some people do that carry wallets, but I do find every couple of years is like, why do I still have this old insurance card in there? But it's easy for things to get lost in there. But yeah, I mean, I'm not one for changing out my wallet for the seasons or anything like that. I will say this: the orange one that looks like the Halloween, the Stormtrooper mummy. Go with me here. It's not the same thing, but I couldn't help but thinking of the Death Troopers book
Oh,
when I
yeah.
saw this. I mean, those are zombie stormtroopers and not necessarily mummy ones, but when I looked at this, it's like, why am I getting vibes of something I've seen before? And then I looked over at my shelf and saw that book, and it's like, yep, okay, that's it.
Oh yeah, good call. Good call. Well, the reason that I ask is because both of my boys still carry wallets, but my husband has one of those um phone wallet things where it just holds his phone, but it doubles as a
Mm-hmm.
wallet, and that's all he
Yeah.
carries like everywhere now.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I don't do that is that, my phone will go with me if I go for a run and a lot of stuff like that. And I don't want all of my cards and license and everything with me on there. I mean, probably a
Mhm.
good idea if I had some proof of insurance or something were to happen, but I don't know. It's just I keep the things separate. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's a personal choice. It's no right or wrong to it.
Mhm. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was just curious because I
Mm.
wasn't sure if that was like a thing that a lot of men did anymore or not. So,
Mm.
I'm one for I like the little clutch purses now. Like I will take a purse around with me, but I prefer like the lanyard type, purses that I can just dangle from my wrist and then I have everything in it. So,
Sure.
yeah, it's just a lot more streamlined that way too. So, all right, cool. All right, so a few more things for fall slash Halloween. So I found this really fun website called the T-shirt Palace. And this one has some fun Ewok trick or treat Halloween. And it's called Not So Scary Part Soft Style Adult Sport Polos and T-shirts and sweatshirts and all kinds of fun stuff. But the fun thing about the design is that this little trick or treat design that has the Ewok on it has, like your typical little Ewok on it, but then it's got this trick or treat above where the Ewok is. But the Ewoks themselves, they look like the little, like it reminds me of Battlefront where you have the Ewok hunt
Yes.
at night
Yes. Hmm.
because we've
If
talked
you didn't
about
say it,
this.
I was going to.
But yeah, because some of them look like they took Darth Vader's helmet and decided, like you were just talking about, like the zombie troopers and that type of
Hmm.
thing. And so, and then there's like this orange full moon behind them, and these spider webs and things like that. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It says not so scary, but I mean, it definitely could be, depending on how you're looking at it. So there's a variety of different colors, and you can get orange, you get purple. I really like the tie-dye one. I think that one's super cool. There's a purple tie-dye with that
Hmm.
orange full moon and that creepy looking Ewok with the trick or treat on the back of it. So you can get these anywhere from the on the least expensive side is $19.99 for a basic t-shirt, and then it goes up from there. So you can get a long sleeve shirt for $29.99, the V-neck shirt for $24.99. The tie-dye shirt that I was looking at is $28.99. And then once again, that polo shirt that I was talking about in the orange, and you can get these in different colors too, but that one's $27.99. So depending upon the style that you're looking for, you can get pretty much anything. And these ship out really quick too. So on the day that we're recording this, we're looking at approximately a 5 to 9 day estimate on delivery. So when
Wow.
this comes out, from the day that it's ordered, you would definitely get it before Halloween. So if this is something that that kind of vibes with your Star Wars style, then I would definitely get on this one. I really actually like these. I'm digging these a lot. Which style of these did you like, if any?
I just think that the Ewok wearing the Darth Vader mask is hilarious. That's a fantastic little
Yeah.
design that they've got going on there. And I mean, I would probably pick a solid color. I typically do, grays, blues, and things like that for my t-shirts. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I do something like that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Fair enough.
Mm.
But yeah, it's a fun way to celebrate Halloween with something that you wouldn't think would be scary, which is an Ewok. But like we were just saying, if you played Battlefront, yeah, they can definitely be
Hmm.
scary for sure. All right. So one more thing from Hallmark, actually, and not Halloween related necessarily, but just some things for getting cozy for the cooler weather. And so we were, talking about some of the types of characters that pop up that you wouldn't really associate with some of these sorts of holidays and whatnot. But Hallmark has this Star Wars Rancor cookie holder mug. And this thing is just so darn cute. It holds 12.5 ounces of liquid, and it's got this fun little handle on it that kind of reminds me of, like a Rancor keeper's staff. And so the mug itself is a stoneware mug, dark brown, but then there's this fun little Rancor face with the mouth open, and you can put your cookie in the Rancor's mouth to hold it until you're ready to dunk it in your cocoa. I just think this is the cutest thing ever.
I can
And
tell.
it's $24.99. So yeah, and again, you can get this. Sorry, I have to laugh. You can get this through Hallmark either to ship to you or ship to the store. And this one actually only has, once again, like a 5 to 7 day turnaround on that one, which I thought was a really impressive turnaround. So a couple other things as well. There is a Darth Vader hooded blanket. So if you're not into BB-8 as a blanket, as a pumpkin, you can get a Darth Vader hooded blanket. And the hooded blanket is actually pretty big. It's 70 by 50. And this one is $44.99. And again, you can either ship to yourself or you can ship it to your local store. And this one is one of those like Snuggies, basically, if you've ever seen those, where it has the hood and you can wrap it around you, and it even has the little button that you can button it to fasten it for yourself, so you can just walk around or just snuggle up on the couch, or like I said, you can take it onto your hay rides and whatnot. But it's a gray hooded blanket that features Darth Vader's helmet and TIE fighter designs with a fun little quote that says, "I find your lack of cozy disturbing." So it's 100% polyester, machine washable, and it also packs up into a nice little travel case of its own. So it's a fun little thing that you can take for travel as well. And then if you can't decide if you want a mug or a blanket, you're in luck because you can get a gift set. Not with the Rancor and Darth Vader, though. It's all Darth Vader. So this one is anywhere from $34.99 to $74.98, depending upon what you get. But you have your choice of the mug with the blanket, or just one or the other. So it says, remind yourself or a Star Wars fan of the compelling allure of the dark side with this Darth Vader gift set. The black jumbo mug features Vader's iconic helmet design and a lightsaber handle that plays lightsaber sounds when you lift it. How fun is that? I'm sure there's probably a way to turn that off, though, because it might get annoying after a while, especially if you're trying to enjoy, your quiet Sunday or whatever, and then all of a sudden all you hear is snap hiss every single time you lift it. But the cozy fleece blanket will warm the chills down your spine as the Sith Lord fills Star Wars movie scenes with the dark side. So I really do like the look of the mug, though. It's very streamlined. It's very sleek. And so it's black with this rule the galaxy and the saber hilt itself as the handle. So that one's kind of fun. And it does play one of two lightsaber sounds when you lift the mug. I wish it had a little like video that you can watch, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
That kind of
it's cool. Just for, I don't usually microwave my mugs, but this one explicitly says do not microwave.
Right.
And then it's hand wash, because I guess with all whatever the electronics are in for the lightsaber, you're not going to want to put that through the dishwasher.
Sure. Yeah. And they also mentioned on the website too, if you don't want to use it as a coffee mug, you can use it on your desk for pens and pencils, or as a planter, or to just transport fuel for your caffeine cravings.
It's interesting on this webpage. The mug on the combo pack image, the lightsaber handle's different than what it is if you just order the mug individually.
I noticed that because it's got the activation switch almost on one of them. And I wonder if it's maybe the way that it's pictured, but then you look at it and it's actually looks like the same on both sides. So that's a great question, because the mug is $39.99 by itself. That's the jumbo mug with sound, which is separate from the blanket, but you pair them together and you've got yourself the gift set. So I'm not really sure. That's a great question.
Yeah.
Good observation. But at any rate, it's at Hallmark, and the links will be in our show notes. So, one last set of things here before we wrap things up on this edition of World Between Worlds. And, we're coming up to the end of the 25th anniversary year for celebrating the release of The Phantom Menace, but the merch keeps rolling out, which we love to see. And so, one of the companies that, once again, we've talked about on the show is Corkcicle. And Corkcicle actually has a brand new Darth Maul Sport Canteen and Commuter Cup available on their website. So you can get one or both of these. So the Sport Canteen is a 20-ounce Sport Canteen, which if you're familiar with Corkcicle at all, they're any of our listeners, you know that they are just amazing when it comes to keeping hot drinks hot and cold drinks cold. And so this 20-ounce is, I'm sure, no different. So it even advertises that it can stay up to 25 hours cold, and it is cup holder friendly, so it can be transported in your cars and whatnot. As a stay put bottom, a 1-year warranty, and all of the things that you would expect from Corkcicle. So it says Star Wars fans can now pay homage to their favorite characters with Corkcicle's high performance drinkware collection, including our fan favorite 20-ounce Sport Canteen. Will you show your support for the Rebel Alliance or join the Galactic Empire? The choice is yours. So this one is, like I said, it's Darth Maul inspired. So it's black with the red, tattoos that you would expect from Darth Maul. And then the other one that is in this collection, as I mentioned, is the Commuter Cup. And so the Commuter Cup is a 17-ounce, and it's also in the same style. And this one is also $44.95. So depending on if you want the canteen or the Sport Cup, you have your choice. I know we have the jumbo canteen of the Darth Vader style. I'll tell you what, that thing, it's amazing how long it will stay cold. And I'm so impressed with it. So I have some really good experience with Corkcicle things. I know you own a few pieces too, don't you?
Yeah. They do a good job. No complaints.
Yeah, for sure. So once again, that's on the Corkcicle website, and you can hit up those links in our show notes. So lastly, Regal Cinemas, who were showing the 25th anniversary show in a lot of their theaters, still have some of the commemorative shirts and whatnot on their website. So if you go to the Regal store, you can find a few different styles. So they have the original poster Phantom Menace T-shirt that commemorates the 25th anniversary, which is $24.95. They have a Darth Maul, which is black with Darth Maul's like kind of half face, and then the words Darth Maul vertically down the one side. There's a T-shirt that says Pod Racing, and this is a retro line Pod Racing T-shirt. And this one's really cool. It's got and the reason I feel like it's retro is it's got all the different like colors of the lines with the pod racer, and it says the Boonta Eve Classic Mos Espa Grand Arena Tatooine. And once again, that's $24.95. And then there's also a Jar Jar Binks Gungan Poodoo T-shirt, and so that one's a lot of fun as well. There's one that says Naboo on it for Star Wars, and it's the travel Naboo T-shirt, so it's kind of akin to a lot of those different travel posters that you see around different places. And then there's one for Qui-Gon Jinn, Jedi Master, holding his lightsaber. And then there's also a Funko Pop of Anakin as his in his pod racer outfit that you can also get on the website as well. So once again, if you're wanting anything from the 25th anniversary of the Phantom Menace, make sure you snag it while you still can. So I'm actually kind of tempted to get the poster T-shirt. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I really
It
like
really
that
is.
one.
That was a great poster that they made for the re-release.
Absolutely. And you never know, you might not be able to find them after this. So there you go. So that will do it for this month. We'd like to thank you all for joining us for this episode of Podcast Stardust and our World Between Worlds special edition episode for October of 2024. We hope that you enjoyed the episode and our discussion. And we'd like to remind you that we would appreciate it if you would like, rate, and subscribe wherever you can find that supports those kinds of things. And you can also find all of our episodes over on the retrozap.com's website. as well as so many other great shows that are over there as well. So there's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Case Files, The Animated Cast, Brews and Blasters, Dork Blair, Dunecast, Enjoy Stuff, Love, Death, and Robots Plus, Superhero Suite, and Warp Trails. And we'd also really appreciate it if you would take some time to do some ratings and reviews for us, especially if that's Apple Podcasts. That just seems to drive up the algorithms for us. But anywhere that supports those reviews, we really do appreciate it. So you can hit us up on Spotify, on YouTube, even on Audible, and basically everywhere. And we'd also love it if you would share out the show on social media with your friends. So speaking of that, Dennis, can you remind everybody where they can do that?
Sure. So best places on social media are Facebook and Instagram at Podcast Stardust. We still have a Twitter or X page, whatever you want to call it. It's just nothing is happening there. Also at Podcast Stardust. And then, we've got a Pinterest page where Jay has curated some various Star Wars collections. You can find the show on both YouTube and YouTube Music. And love getting comments over there. Those are some of the best. Mm-hmm. So make sure you check that out. Jay, what do you got going on with cosplay?
All right. Well, you can always catch me on my Instagram, which is at j.snipscosplay. And so I'm always up to something with either Ahsoka, Hera, my fourth sister, my original concept Mandalorian, as well as some fun other things like non-Star Wars-y related things like Weird Barbie and such. So my next big event will be in December at GalaxyCon in Columbus, where I also get to meet Hayden again, which I'm really excited about. But until then, you can catch me on j.snipscosplay. So with that, I just want to remind you that this Friday upcoming on the show, we have our regular edition of the Star Wars news for the week. And then on Monday, we have another edition of The Clone Wars rewatch series. And we've been having a lot of fun with that. So we'd love it if you would join us for that. So thank you so much for listening to episode 795, everyone. Have a great rest of your week. And until next time, may the force of fashion and lifestyle be with you.